Man, I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm gonna start this out and make it real quick because this is just like a introductory to one of the many things I want to talk about. And again, probably start a lot of these off the same way. I don't go get permission. I don't get on my friends list, family, employer, anybody else, and ask what I'm gonna do a video on. And like usually, I say, no religion's involved. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to use anything racist because it's not what I do. Usually people will take stuff how they want to take it anyway, and that's their problem. People get so many terms confused because that's the way they want to take it. And usually if I got something on my mind, I'm going to say it. And I do respect the other opinion and the other perspective. The thing about open-minded, like-minded people is, I don't care if you're right, you want to understand. That's how you build on things, is getting the other perspective. And usually there's something that's really been standing out to me when I decide to do a video about something. I mean, like I said, obviously I don't get paid to do this. Will I ever get to? Who knows? Am I working on it? Maybe. Do I have a lot of other plans I work on that I don't get paid for? Maybe I do get paid for some of them. I won't be telling anybody except for close loved ones if they do know. It's very few. Certain things we just need to keep off of social media because people do not often want you to make it. And they'll try to throw a wrench in your plans, be derogatory about something, whatever it may be. Again, telling the truth and negativity are often taken the same way, and people get those confused often when it's not what they want to hear. And sometimes we keep going to different people until we do get the answer we want to hear. Nevertheless, one thing that's really stood out to me lately, and when I mean lately, I mean, I have to say, let me back up. Really the last few years, especially since I've probably gotten old, the last maybe decade or so, because I started asking more questions and gaining more knowledge, doing my research. So one of the subjects I want to talk about, and I'm not going to do it today. Like I said, this is just like a little summary. Excuse me, not a summary. It's like introductory, and I'm just going to touch on a few points of what I'm going to go over later, because I think that what I'm going to talk about is just too much to try to put in one video. And it's our working career, our work life consumes most of the time in our life. Between work, whatever job or career we have, family, our partner, spouse, sleep are the things that we spend the most time doing. So it makes you ask, how much free time do we really have? And what's our free time worth to us? So I'm going to just try to touch on all the things I will be going over. It's just too much to encompass in one video. And different people's perspective and opinions. A lot of this will be opinion. Some of it will be experience. I experienced myself. Some of it will be based off of facts. Like anything, jumble it all into one, sort it out, talk about it, figure it out. And as always, there'll be some people who will love it. There'll be some people who will like it. There'll be some people, I can't stand listening to that son of a bitch. And they'll be, oh, I love hearing this stuff. And as again, I don't give a shit. Not even a little bit. It's better than talking about nonsense. I love to have a good time. I love to see people. I love to make people happy. But I also love to keep it real. And people misunderstand whatever they want to misunderstand. But career and job are very important. It seems like the things that oftentimes the things that are most important in life are the things that we put the less thought into, maybe. I'm guilty of it myself at an early age. And there's no coulda, shoulda, woulda here. That's only what it is. Which is, Did our careers pick us, or did we pick our careers? Did we take a shortcut? Did we give up? Did we settle? Good boss, bad boss. What's the difference between a boss and a leader? Excuse me. Do you think the people around you in your workplace have your best interest in mind? Are they promoting your improvement? Do they want to see you succeed as well as them? Do you know anybody that often sabotages things? Watch this, because I seen this. Well, this is way later. Sabotage things, but they call it job security. What's a fair wage? Do the people in charge of things, it's your employer or your corporation, whatever walk of life you come from executives to the dishwasher, to the part-time job, to the person who works for a small business, to the people who throw the trash. We need all of them. And we don't need to be looking down on anybody that does anything for a living, because we do not know their story. Do you think that the people that employ you, or the corporation you work for, whether it be a small business or a big one, even know what a fair wage is? Do they know how to balance things? Do they care about your family? Do you feel like you give too much up of your free time? Do you feel like that, or do we feel like they might tell you good job, but they don't show you that they care? Benefits. This crisis with the insurance. I know firsthand some things I never had to deal with till later in life I'm dealing with now. Some self-inflicted, some not. The poverty level. Do some employers even know what that is? Do you think you deserve a raise? Chances are, if you think you deserve one, the people in charge are aware of it too. The percentage of people who ask for one versus the people who get it, it's higher than people think it is. Inflation, it's a real thing. Cost of living. Are people making adjustments along the way? It's so much, like I said, it's so much, man. I just have to kind of just hit a few categories of how I'm going to dive into it. Different, and it has nothing to do with anything of an individual. I ask a lot of questions everywhere I go, always have, but more so probably after age 35, when I started making some big life changes for myself. And there are some stumbling blocks along the way. And the thing about hitting the stumbling blocks, man, people that don't want to see you succeed, it doesn't matter how much time you spend in the trenches or struggling, they're not going to recognize it until it works. Pay attention to these people. Do we see talent right in front of us? Do we recognize it? Do we overlook it because we feel threatened? How many people can raise their hand on an employees over here, man or woman, whatever it is, that does a great job, but they have to do more work because they're outspoken and they stand up for themselves and others, or maybe the brown nose or the ass kisser doesn't. See, a lot of people don't want to say these things going in the workforce, but they do. We all know they do. And what people usually going to do is they're going to give you the less than 10%. And sometimes they're going to give you the less than 1%. The 90-10 rule applies to a lot of things in life. If you talk about